Hey everybody, it's Ollie, and today is another Top 5 Wednesdays, and this week for the 27th of January is Disappointing Eye Candy, or books that look good but were awful. And also note that just because some books are on this list doesn't mean that I think these books are awful. By any means, a lot of them are actually really good books, but they just weren't the best in my opinion. Some of them took me quite a while to read because they were really slow paced for me. But yeah, number 5. My number 5 book, eye candy, I guess you could say, is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. Now, again, I did not find this book awful. I actually really enjoyed it. It was really good, but the whole start of the book and how it got very into sort of the backstory of this character, a lot of the backstory of which I did not really care about. It was slow paced for me, and it wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it. And look at this beautiful cover. I wish it was so much better than it actually was. Number 4. My number 4 good looking book that I thought was awful. Well, in this case, it wasn't awful. It was, again, another one I enjoyed, but it wasn't my all time favorite. That being said, this book was one that I really, really enjoyed when I was younger, when everyone had this book phase, which you'll see in a second. I'm sort of ordering these by how much I actually enjoyed the book, not by how awful they look. But it's mostly which beautiful books I enjoyed the most are going to be first, etc. So, my number 4 eye candy book is the Twilight series. Again, I do thoroughly enjoy Twilight, actually. I enjoyed it a lot more when I was younger, when I was about 11, 12. I'm 19 now, so that probably tells you quite a bit. I do like Life and Death a lot better, actually. That could be just because I enjoyed the character of Beau a lot more than I enjoyed Bella. But yeah, I really love the covers of these books. They're really pretty. Not as pretty as number 5, but yeah, they just had to make the list. Number 3. My number 3 eye candy book is the Immortal series, or, well, the first one is Evermore by Alison Noel. And if you look at this book, it's gorgeous. But the thing about the series and this one book in general, this one's not bad, but the rest sort of are repetitive and they just drag on a lot. And it just gets pretty boring pretty fast. And I just couldn't seem to get into them as much as I probably could have. I know I'm missing some of the books in the series, so that might be why. I might pick those up and give this series a reread. But yeah, it's number 3. Number 2. My number 2 book is one that I do not own, and that is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. And the reason why this book is number 2 is because I do like the cover. The cover's pretty. It's not my favorite cover by all means, but it's pretty, and I just did not like the story. I enjoyed some parts of it, and I enjoyed sort of the aspect of it, but the way it was sort of executed was really hard for me to read. I know it was a few years ago that I read this book, so I might try to reread it again, but it's not sort of high on my priorities to read. So, yeah. Number 1. My number 1 eye candy book. Well, I only own the sequel to this book. The story, absolutely horrendous. You'll know what I mean when I show it to you, but I had to put this on my list somewhere because I did not like the story, and the covers I really enjoy. It's just, if they weren't associated with this series, then they would be a lot better, in my opinion. But that is the 50 Shades of Grey series by E.L. James. And, I mean, if you look at the covers, they're actually really pretty covers. But the story, well, I'm sure you've heard things from everyone else about the series and have formed their own opinions about it, but I personally do not like it because it sort of misinterprets the BDSM culture and just sort of things like that in general. So that's one reason why I don't particularly enjoy the series, but I enjoy looking at the covers because they're pretty. Please note that the only reason why I have this actually is because I saw it at a thrift store and I saw it and thought, this will be fun to read and laugh at. So yes, those are my top 5 eye candy books that were awful. In half of the cases of these books, they weren't awful, but they weren't my favorites. So yes, that is it for this video, and I will see you all next week for another Top 5 Wednesdays video. Bye.